What is up, guys? Well, here we are at the end of another year. This is the last day of 2024, moving into 2025. I hope everybody had a wonderful year, was very productive, everything went your way, etc. Blah, blah, blah. We out here on a beautiful day in Alabama. This is our crazy winter. Got a 60-degree day, a little bit windy, but other than that, it's all right. I was going to turn all these beds and figured about the time I shoot another video. It's been a while. I shot a long video. I hope that 2025 is very profitable. Hey, Sasha, my pit bull. I hope 2025 is very profitable for everybody, and I hope everybody enjoys even more worm farming more than they did last year. For me, it's been an experience. I've enjoyed it. I started off with vermi bags. I still use my vermi bags. Right now, they're full of cocoons, getting ready to hatch for the spring. But it's very worm farming is not just about breaking down compost or fishing or even selling the worms or all that. It's a lot of work, but it's relaxing. You don't think about the bills. You don't think about what's going on in your life. You, you just sit here and mess with your worms and watch them do what they do, which is pretty astonishing for just a little bitty worm in the ground. It's amazing how important they really are, and a lot of farmers and people in general just don't realize how important these little boogers are. Heck, I didn't know how important it was until I started down this adventure. I just thought a worm was a worm. You know, but I've really grown to enjoy worm farming so much that I've expanded all this, and then I bought a building that's full of worms. So I just hope everybody really, really gets into it more this year and really becomes soil soldiers, as I call y'all, and trying to bring all the life back in the soil and not just killing it with chemical fertilizers and quick growing stuff. Miracle Grow is really not a miracle. It's a miracle for the first couple of days, but then after that, when the end of the season's over, it does all the damage to the soil, kills everything. It's really not a miracle, but it is what it is. But we're gonna get in here. We're gonna flip these beds since we got a nice day to do it. I've already put off all the mats ahead of time. I got to pull out all the heating pads. Going to throw some carbon in there. I like using a lot of carbon for anybody doing these big old bins. I would venture more on the side of having more carbon than having nitrogen in there, because it's a lot easier to correct your carbon mistakes than it is your nitrogen mistakes. But we're gonna get to it. That's enough of me babbling. I got stuff to do before I lose all this beautiful weather. But we're gonna pull off these heating mats. We're gonna go ahead and start turning all these beds and adding some carbon to them. See if they need water from the heat mats drying them out. Been lucky though. They had that big storm the other day. Was it? Let's say, I think it was Sunday. We had that bad windstorm and lightning and thunder. Luckily, the little old $199 carports from Amazon, they stood up. They're still standing. So I would recommend them. I got three of them, and all three of them seem to took the storm pretty well. We're gonna have a crap load of worms to sell next year. Oh, once spring gets here, might even put on a 2025 New Year sale, because I like shipping them now while the weather's decent, not scalding hot, and I got to worry about the worms dying. Nobody wants to get a dead package of worms, but it happens. It happens in the industry all the time. Once they leave your house, You have no more control over how the post office or UPS handles them. It's funny how all these worms will get under these mats, even though it's dried the soil up under the mat. It's funny how they'll still get in there. Uh, they get in all these little pumpkins that I got in here to feed them. Let's see what we got. Get them all turned, give them some oxygen. Well, before I do all that, it might be nice to go ahead and put the carbon on, don't y'all? So I ain't got to flip them twice. That would be the smart thing to do. I'm just using shredded up cardboard today. It looks like they've ate all the leaves and started working on the wood chips that are in here. So we're going to give them some more carbon to help them out, because I still got 2 more months of this crazy weather before I can start taking all the tops off of them, drying them out so I can harvest them. That's always the time of year that I really don't look forward to, being by myself, is sitting there emptying every one of these. It don't look like a lot because they're halfway full, but it's all compacted. Once I turn it, you'll see it. It'll bulk up. But I had to harvest every one of these things. It'll be a couple of long nights and a couple of long weekends trying to get it all done. But we'll get it. We do it every year. Looking to get me a spot in a warehouse somewhere so I can get out of the weather. I won't have to worry so much about rain and cold and stuff like that. You know, I know how to manage them outside. I keep them alive every year, but it'd be nice not to have that hassle on my mind all the time. Because when it's raining, when your worms are outside and it's raining, I gotta leave all the lights on so they'll stay down. Then I worry, well, if I lose power, then all my worms are gonna be getting out. So I'm gonna try to eliminate that problem this year and get right past all that. The flu's been going around like crazy. Everybody at work's just about had it. If it ain't one plague, it's another. And these worms have tore up all of their carbon. It's been too cold to get out here and flip them, because when I flip them, even though they got all this food right here, the reason all this food's still in here because everybody knows that, you know, everything slows down. The worms slow down, the microbes slow down, which slows the worms down, because that's basically what the worms eat, the microbes. I had to give me a drink, y'all. And so once all the microbes slow down from breaking everything down, like a domino effect, everything else slows down. So these pumpkins will be in here probably another month, if I had to guess. So all I do is I give them a light feeding of worm chow, because I know once I turn it that all the pumpkins are under there. So I try not to overdo it with a whole bunch of nitrogen, because that nitrogen will build up gases and kill them before you even know it. So I try not to put a whole bunch of nitrogen in my bins. They got the manure, they got the wood chips, they got cardboard. Uh, so they're happy little worms right now. I like these IBC bins cut in half. I did everything in trays, but it got to where picking up 20, 25-pound trays all the time was just aggravating to do. So when these bigger bins like this, I can grow more worms in them. I can also feed a lot more worms instead of doing individual trays. We're gonna throw them some worm chow in here. Even though you see all the pumpkins in there, we're still gonna throw them some worm chow in there. Not a lot, because they do have a lot of pumpkins. But we're gonna throw some worm chow in there, so when we turn it, they'll have plenty of food to be working underneath the soil. They won't be on top like they normally are. Which is okay. We'd rather have them under the soil than on top, looking to get out. We got one more back there we got to do, but it's got all the tops to the bins on it right now. All right, guys. There's that part down. So there's 5 bins right there. We got the carbon in. We got the worm chow in. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna turn it all under. That way we can get a look at what's going on. If it's saturated from the rain blowing in on them. You know, if I have to add water, you're just getting a general overlook of what's going on with your bins. Is all this really is. And on a great day to do it. Yeah, buddy, it's all compacted. There's more than a half a bin in there. I got my camera on the tripod over here. I'd move it over here and show you, but I believe it'd make you a whole lot of motion sickness me bouncing that thing around over here. It looks like nature watered them for me. They're looking real wet. Well, not because listen to this. You're right. Yeah, they got plenty of water, so we won't have to add water to this bin. Now that we got them stirred up, I'm gonna even it, lay it right back down even, so the heat mass will sit down in there and sit right. I'm gonna throw a little bit more carbon on top. I'm gonna call that good. That'll last them. That'll probably last them until I get ready to start harvesting, to be honest with you. Go to the next one. Repeat the whole cycle all over again. Oh yeah, rain got in on that side. That was a wet load I just turned. A wet load. So that back side's wet. So what happened is I'll move the heat back toward that way, toward the back over there, and it'll dry them out. You gotta have water in your bins to keep them moist, but you don't want them saturated where they'll freeze. That was my first outdoor bin mistake. I watered my worms. No sooner than I watered them, we had a week of 11-degree weather temps. I had 5 bins full of nothing but worm sickles. Every one of them died. The only saving grace was during the spring. I wrote them off. I didn't even touch them. I wrote them off. Said, well, here we go again, starting over. And y'all know what happened as well as I did. Cocoons started hatching everywhere. And what all the adult worms that died were all replenished. You see how full it is now? I'm sorry. I jumped on you like that, but I'm one of them people who's got to get out of my head. But now you see how full the bin is? But when all the cocoons started hatching, I got everybody back that I lost. So it wasn't, well, it was bad because I lost worms, but I wouldn't say that I gained them back, because you don't never gain what you lose. But at least they was repopulated and they come back strong. But I've never made that mistake again. I'm a one and done type of guy. shame on me for messing up. I just learned from it. So tell me y'all's plans. Let me know what y'all planning. Y'all plan on expanding this year, getting bigger? Or you like where you're at with your worming adventure? You make just enough compost to do your garden. That's all that matters. There's nothing wrong with none of that. You farm the way that you like to farm. That's all that matters. If you're getting into worm farming to get rich, you might as well get out before you even get started. Because it takes you a long time to get known. And it takes a long time for you to get a good client base that keeps returning. I got people I sell to that I've been selling to ever since I started from day one. And I still sell to them. Try to push them mats back that way some. So dry that backside down a little bit. Put the old thermometer in there. Got that done. Then we'll put the cover back on. I did figure out a cool little trick this year that I haven't done before, and really don't even know why I did it to begin with. I guess because I had so much cardboard, I was trying to get it off my front porch. But if you put your heat mats down, you put your cover over them to hold the heat in, and then you cover with cardboard. It holds the heat in even better in your whole bin, not just where the mats are, but it seems like it disperses the heat under that tarp a whole lot better than what it did before I even done this. So that's another thing. You know, there's a textbooks on everything, but they don't come up with all the answers to all your problems. You have to improvise, adapt, and overcome, which has always been my motto, and figure things out as you go. You know, now I know that the cardboard helps disperse the heat and it holds it in there a lot better. So now I know every year I'm gonna put cardboard on top of my bins. Did not know that until I got way too much cardboard on my front porch and wanted to get rid of it. But you learn by little things like that. Every little thing that you learn is valuable to your farm. It has some kind of value, and you got to learn to implement it. You know, always no, don't ever be afraid to try something, unless it could be very devastating to your. Oh, that ain't good. Being very devastating to your farm. Don't do that. I'm not saying that, but you know, just try to figure out how to make it even better than what it is now. Because that's all I do. I try to figure out ways to make it better and faster for what I got to work with, to make it easier on me so I can continue to enjoy it and not make it to be a chore. Right? You know, you would think to some people all this would be a chore for one person, but you know, when you ain't got a lot going on, it's at work. It's not that bad. It's not a chore at all. Like I said, I enjoy playing around with these little boogers. You know, you can still use your fruits and you can use your onions, but you got to do it all in moderation. You got to do it all in moderation. You don't want to open up your bin there and pour a pile of onions right in the center and say, there you go. They will break it all down eventually. Once it loses all its acidity and whatever's on it that the mites don't like, once it loses all that, the worms and the mites will break it down. The worms ain't gonna touch it until the mites get on it. Let me go up here and get me some more cardboard, guys. I'll be right back. Hang in there. I can talk to you because I got my mic. I don't know if it'll reach that far. It might get all staticky. It's the best day to get out here and do this. Last year, 2020. I mean, the last day of 2024. Man, I didn't think I was ever going to make it to 2025. Hey, Mama, you enjoying that sun too? My baby's right here playing. They enjoying the sun. Well, hello, guys. I'm back. Me and my little dirty fingers. All right. Got that one done. You see, it don't take long, guys. Y'all been on here. Y'all been here with me. We already turned 3 bins. We've turned 3 bins. We fed 3 bins. And we gave 3 bins carbon. So, see, it doesn't take a lot of work. It takes some work, I'm not going to lie, but it don't take a lot. Because I've been sitting here talking with y'all and putting the carbon in there. And, oh, wrong way, Bobby. Getting ahead of yourself. Got to put the top on. I got to go deliver some castings after this. Once we get this done, we got to go deliver some castings right quick. Get them out of here. Get that one down. That one down. We'll move everything down. We'll move everything down a bit. And we'll do it again. And that's all it takes. Run that fork down in there. Don't do shovels because you'll cut your worms up and you'll kill your worms. And that's not what we're about. We're not killing worms. But you take your fork down there, feel it hit the bottom, pull them up and turn them. And that's all it's to it. I'm going to move y'all and show y'all the worms. These bins are absolutely full of worms. Look how fat these boogers are. Nice, beautiful red worms. They've enjoyed their winter. But that's all you got to do. Turn them, then level it out because you want your pads to be able to sit evenly on there. So the heat will get dispersed right. I don't know why all the pumpkins piled up right there, but we're going to put them in the center. And there you go. 10 more pounds of worms. Each one of these got 10 plus pounds of worms in them. So there you go. 10 pounds of worms fed, turned, gave them more carbon, worm chow, which covers the fed part, and you're done. There's 10 pounds. Now, if I was in my trays, that'd been five trays that I'd already had to move and rake around and fluff. Got that there. Put that over there close to the backside. Put that one close to the backside. Let it dry that up a little bit back there. Put in the thermostat. Clear it up. And bam, there you go. Another one done. See? Not that bad, y'all. Y'all can do this. There's nothing to it. Now all them worms are good to go. We'll get this one. Once we flip this one, then I'll have to go back and do that one because, like I said, it was holding all the covers and tops and stuff. But anyway, this video is getting kind of long, so I'm gonna get off here. I just wanted to chit chat with y'all a little bit while I was working. I appreciate every one of y'all that support me. I appreciate everyone who tells everyone about me. I greatly appreciate all y'all. Y'all just we'll do it all again in another year. Hopefully it'll be a better year for everybody. Not that this year was bad, but hopefully everybody will have a great year. And 2025 we'll just keep pushing the worm castings and trying to get people to understand that you know, you really need these worm castings in your garden. They do a whole lot more than you think they will. They was nature's first fertilizer, and it'll be the last fertilizer. Well, it's really not a fertilizer. I don't know why I said that. It's not fertilizer. It brings the microbes and the biology back to your soil. It's not a fertilizer. It's very low on the NPK scale. But I'm babbling now. Anyway, y'all enjoy it. 2025, here we come. We're going to make it another great year for everyone. I appreciate it, guys and gals. And we'll keep saving the soil one worm at a time in 2025. Bye, guys.